And tell me, how many percentage of Russians are living in this area?
So, on the territory which is now under Russian control, in the Donetsk People Republic, we are almost 2.5 million. In LPR, I think it's 1.5 million or 1.6 million, so something like this. I don't have the exact numbers for the Zaporozhye and the Kherson region, but it's several millions of people. Yeah, it's like at least 8 million or 9 million of people.
Russians, all of them are Russians.
All of them are now Russians, yes, most of them. I mean, some people may have refused to take the Russian citizenship, it's their right, but most of people have taken it and have asked for the passports.
Okay, we'll come later to referendum, and on this referendum they decided to connect with Russia. But tell me, what do you think? What is the reason they were shelling all the time these regions from side of Ukrainian army?
Because they were not happy with the fact that already in 2014, the Lugansk and the Donetsk region held a referendum to separate from Ukraine. So when the Maidan occurred, when Yanukovych was deposed as the president, it was fully unconstitutional. They did not respect the Ukrainian constitution. They tried, of course, to kill Yanukovych. Then they would have had a constitutional reason to remove him and to replace him, but they did not succeed. So they replaced him first by Turchinov, who is really an horrible man, really. I mean, it's really the devil. And so this guy did not accept the fact that in the eastern part of Ukraine, people did not agree with the Maidan. Yanukovych was legally elected. It was the legitimate president of the country. And so they did not accept that, and they did not accept two things. The first decision of the new parliament after the removal of Yanukovych was to remove to Russian language its status of official regional language. People have to understand that in Ukraine, it's not like one country, one language. It's not functioning like that. Ukraine is a very young country. It did not exist before 1917. Most of its territory before that was part of the Russian Empire. Mm-hmm. So people there were Russians. So, of course, a majority of people, especially in the eastern part of Ukraine, are ethnically, linguistically, culturally, and even religiously Russians. Mm-hmm. So it's Orthodox people who speak Russian at home. It's the first language they learn. In the western part of Ukraine, there you have more people who speak Ukrainian, but you have also people who speak Magyar, so people from Hungary, and even some Romanians. So under Yanukovych, Russian has acquired some kind of official status in the regions where majority of people speak Russian. So it means people could have administration, official papers, and so on written in Russian, so that they understand, they can understand the administrative procedures and so on. And so the first decision of the new authorities after the Maidan was to remove this status to the Russian language. And this, of course, the people were in a region where high majority, I mean, like it's 90% of the people were native Russian speakers, did not accept that. And the second point they didn't accept, it was the fact that the new authorities in Kiev put people who were collaborators of the Nazis during the Second World War, like Stepan Bandera and Roman Shukhevich, as national heroes of Ukraine. These people and their henchmen were responsible of death of many Jews, Polish civilians, Russians, prisoners. They really were terrible, terrible people, and they really collaborated with the Third Reich, and voluntarily, and they were themselves anti-Semites and so on. I mean, they welcomed the Nazis in 1941. And so people here did not accept that. They did not accept the rewriting of history and putting Nazi collaborators as national heroes. And so people began to protest. And the Kiev authorities did like, okay, we don't see and we don't hear anything. So the people, it escalates. It escalated, and it escalated until the point people took under their control, without any weapons, administrative buildings. They began to storm SBU offices, police stations, and so on, and even the military bases. And that's when the Kiev regime began to react. So they sent the army to try to crush into blood all this. It was not only the Donbass, they crushed it in blood in Kharkov also, and in Odessa. We have to remember what happened in the Union House in Odessa, the 2nd of May 2014, where around 40 people were killed by these Ukrainian neo-Nazis. And so this repression worked in Odessa and in Kharkov, but in the Donbass it didn't work. It didn't work. On the contrary, it pushed people to reject completely Ukraine, and they decided to hold a referendum to secede from Ukraine, to make their independence. So it's the Lugansk and Donetsk region. And so on the 11th of May 2014, the referendums were held, and they obtained like more than 90, it's almost 90% in DPR and 93, if I well remember, in the Lugansk People's Republic for the independence from Ukraine and the instauration of the Donetsk and the Lugansk People's Republic. And so after that, the Ukrainian army began to shell them.
What was the role during